Good evening, everybody. It is Monday. Welcome, everybody. How are you this Monday evening? It is a new week. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome to being first in tonight. Hello, Heather. Hey, Laurel's with us tonight. Eric Abrams. Hey, Eric, how are you doing? Dawn. Dina, Stephanie, Kitty, good evening. Welcome. Jim, I hope you have your coffee handy there, Jim. Angie, Vicky, Laura Young. We're going with wine tonight, Laura, just saying. Lisa in Alaska. So glad to hear your husband's coming home tomorrow. Stella. Sarah, Greta, Ann, how are you? Ann, I don't know why I thought you were like Texas or something. I don't know why I have you from not Virginia, but that's okay. I'm glad you're with us. Leanne from Atlanta. I know who you are now, Leanne. Your secret is out. I know who you are. It clicked with me the other day who you are, Leanne from Atlanta. I feel sometimes like I'm Delilah, okay? Or like sort of like Delilah. So I've got, these people tuning in. Ann from Virginia, Stella from Reno, and Leanne from Atlanta. And Laurel's had a Monday. And I woke up dazzled. Joanne's tuning in from Arizona. Sarah's with us from Nebraska. Vina from Indiana. Vicky, hello. Suki, it's Monday. Suki from Texas. Hey, Alexa, who follows what I actually say. Good for you, Alexa. I'm glad somebody does. Chris from North Carolina. Era is watching us. Oh, Karen. Kristen's with us. I love that. I can only wonder what Kurt will do with that now that he hears me calling Delilah. We missed you last night. I even called out the Welties again last night, but I heard you had a birthday celebration in the house last night. Dana and Jeff are with us from Indiana. Well, Leanne, you gotta understand how this mind works, and it's just a jumble of stuff. I have so much information going on in there, like I knew who you were, but it never clicked, and then it just all of a sudden clicked the other day that who you were. But it's great to have you here and with us. Kelly is howdy. Molly Baker is with us. Happy Monday from Orlando. The happiest place on earth is Orlando, Disney World. 420 Colorado. I'm just gonna leave that completely alone, Molly, but I love my Steamboat Springs people. Absolutely love my Steamboat Springs. Pat, I owe you a reply. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day in catching up with people. Cheryl's from Iowa too. Wow, I got lots of Iowa people here tonight. Melissa's on the treadmill. Start that treadmill going. It wasn't that noteworthy. It wasn't like the other night when Kurt was taking you out on a date as part of my presentation, Jennifer. So it wasn't that exciting. Not worth rewatching for it. It's all good. Dennis is with us. Julie Jankowitz in Illinois. Welcome, everybody. Monday, it's a new week. What are we grateful for this Monday? Danielle from Fort Myers. I know you, Danielle. Okay, that clicks. The store, it's blue. I've been there. You weren't there. You were at the Super Bowl or something the day before. So you were hungover from the Super Bowl, Danielle, was the story that I heard. Niagara Falls, New York. Jennifer might be able to open May 1st. Yay! Kitty had sales on her website. Woo-hoo! Cha-ching! Boom! That is what I like to hear. What else are we grateful for this Monday? Kristen had rest and relaxation. Not hungover. Okay. We'll go with that, Danielle. It's all okay. You had fun. Yay, and her first website sale. Karen in St. John's. Sarah got some Idol money. Yay. Nancy's here and is grateful for fellow businesses picking each other up. A $50 and over sale, I like that. Jennifer's grateful for not moving this week. I'm with that. Sarah's looking to reopen May 1st. Grateful to have work to do to make that happen. Yes. Creta's getting ready to open retail to go on Friday. Angie Ulus, how are you tonight, Miss Angie? I gotta catch up with you. I miss you. I haven't talked to you in a while. We are at least curbside soon. All right, Alexa. Good sales in Sunshine and... No, do not make me say Newfoundland, in St. John's. Good sales and sunshine in Newfoundland. Maybe you can melt some snow, Karen. Crystal's joining us in Colorado. I owe you a reply too, Crystal. Karen's going to get some employees back with her PPP money. Ashley had $200 in sales from Facebook. Woohoo! Yeah. Molly's starting to plan a reopening. Jennifer signed her paperwork for her PPP. Laurel's grateful for Vina's idea of neck scarves face masks. We're killing it online with them. I love that. I'm going to have to watch that. I first face masked yesterday. It wasn't pretty. I didn't do it right. I had my mask on wrong. And I think it was one Cassandra and her mother made out of Lulu, I'm screwing up brand names here again, leggings or something that they had cut up and made into it was bad. And we were just trying to go out for ice cream. But, that's to my knowledge, there's no pictures of me in that. It was bad. Julie's grateful for her friends and family. Did Dan go back to work today? Was today's Dan's first day back at work? I hope all is well with that. But Creta, you're going to get there Friday. If you need any help, Creta, in making sure that you're maximizing your PPP, give me a ring, shoot me an email. And I'll be happy to help you with it. I've been helping a lot of people work through their individual situations with making sure they keep the PPP a grant. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, but it really becomes an individual situation in making those numbers work. Heather had $200 in Facebook Live sales. Great online sales in Naples, Florida with Jennifer. Anita's watching us in Georgia. Dan is at work tonight. Yay! I'm so happy for Dan and for you. Yeah, I can talk. I'm happy to talk again about Idol and PPP. It's a popular topic. Deanna Thompson is with us. Zach Evans is with us. So excited to see little Missy's face, Zach, last night. Or her hair, her head. I got to see that. But keep in mind, a lot of the PPP and Idol numbers become a very individual thing. That's why my call list is like this. I call everybody back. I really do. I feel bad, some of you that I owe calls from like a week ago, but I really call everybody back. It just takes some time to do the math and to make all the little idiosyncrasies to make sure you hit it. Hello, Michelle from Virginia. Russell from Orlando area. Good to have you all with us tonight. And great to hear so many people so grateful for so many different things. Okay, tonight. It really is... Anita's online. If Anita's online, anybody can be online, and I mean that with the greatest love, Anita. I'm sending you a big hug. I'm so proud of you for getting online and doing online, Anita. That is awesome. I'm so proud of you. That is great. Uh, I'm so happy for all of you. I am thrilled on a Monday that we have such a strong, grateful presence, okay, and that we are helping so many get to our next levels. Where's my glasses? I need to get my glasses here so I can see what we're going. All right, well, this seems rather apropos, I think, at least on my starting of it. Good morning. Remember, this is our good morning, good night book. In Georgia, we can get a massage on Friday. Well, that is good. Is that going to relax you, Leanne? I'm going for a haircut. I mean, some people say I'm losing all my hair as part of this, but hey, we will come back to that. So our good morning, good night book. What that's saying, Leanne, is that the governor needed a massage. Quite honestly, some of the regulations, as you look at them, really becomes a pink tax. And I mean that in the nicest of ways. But you have these governors, these men in government making decisions. The governor of Connecticut, where I live, stores in Massachusetts, was on the news yesterday, people wanting to get their hair done or their haircuts. He's like, absolutely not. And Connecticut, I think, is closed till May 24th at this point. But, he's like, well, just go to a friend and do it. And it's like, he's getting all duded up and having his makeup done and his hair done so he can do a press conference. And his buddies on the golf course can go out and golf, and his buddies can go out and boat. But it's pink tax. I was thinking of you the other day, Adele, that your Friday rituals got to be totally messed up of getting out. So it's messing up a lot of things. And for that industry, think about that. There so many industries hurt, but hair and makeup, hair, nails, all those things. Okay, when you're finally able to get out and do that, it's not like you're going to buy 5 manicures or get your hair done 5 times all in a row. All this time, that's gotten lost. So that is a hard thing. But let's go to our good morning, good night book, because Melissa's telling me already she can't spend 2 hours on the treadmill tonight. She's like, get this show on the road, Neil. Laurel's driving to Georgia. Road trip! Yes, I want to do a road trip to all the stores. I want to do a road trip everywhere. If anybody's got an RV for me to, put the pink calculator on and hit the country, that's what I want to do. You're beautiful now, Leanne. Good morning. Look at you. The miracle of you. The thrill of you. Becoming who you'll be. Spits, wipes your cheek. Just a little schmutz. Got it. Okay, stunner, go. They ain't ready for you. Pasadena's in the house. Oh, you're looking great. This is awesome. Okay, so let's get going here. I've got a full pile here. So many things I want to cover. Which pile is the... Hang on a second, I gotta get my pile straight. I was on calls right up until I got online here tonight, and so I was thinking. Ooh, preview of the next NARTS newsletter. I can't leave that out here. That I cannot give you right now. So I'm going to read you a little story. Came out of my coaching class today. Again, Monday's my day when I meet with my coach. Everybody that goes pro has a coach. They're always working their coach. And so I check in. Monday is my check-in day with my coach. So this story. Once is called The Black Door. Sounds ominous, doesn't it? Once, long ago, there was a judge who was respected by the law-abiding, as he was as respected by the law-abiding as he was feared by the criminals. The judge was known for a peculiar custom shrouded in an air of mystery. Behind the prisoner's box in the courtroom, there were 2 doors. One led back to jail, the other was a plain black door. and nobody, not even the guard who held the keys, knew where it led. Whenever an accused person was convicted of a crime warranting a life sentence, the judge would give the condemned individual a choice. They could live a lifetime in prison behind bars, or they could choose whatever lay behind the black door. One day, a convicted spy stood before the judge. "Behind you are 2 doors," the judge told the spy. "One is known to you, and you are free to choose it. Or," and here the judge paused solemnly, "you may go through the black door." The spy turned and contemplated the 2 doors. Wasn't this judge the most feared in the land? Surely there must be a reason. What kind of torture, what awful form of punishment lay behind the black door? The spy turned back to the judge and confidently gave the answer. "I choose life in prison." The bailiff took the prisoner through the chosen door, and as soon as the ominous clank of metal beyond announced that the lifelong sentence had begun, the guard who held the key to the black door summoned his courage and approached the judge. "Your Honor," asked the guard, "if you please, what lies behind the black door?" The judge met the guard's search gaze and said quietly, "Freedom. And I've only known a few with the courage to choose it." Does the choice given to the convicted spy seem unfair to you? After all, anything might be beyond that frightening black door. I'm here to tell you that as sobering as it may be, choosing the unknown feels like that. It's almost easier to stay with the known, and that often becomes a prison of our own making. The choice to venture out into the unknown and try something new is infinitely harder, but beyond the black door lies a life of freedom. Doesn't that really speak to what we're all going through right now? There's no playbook for what we're doing right now, okay? Continuing on, moving ahead, going through the black door will lead to our ultimate freedom in business and in life. We will get to the other side of this. You are not alone running that store. Amazing things lie ahead, and freedom. Even though we're all wearing 100 hats in our stores right now, the freedom is coming. Freedom will be with us before you know it. Because we're all walking through that black door right now. And thank you, Suki. Okay, so we've got lots of things to cover tonight. I feel like I'm already, oh my God, Melissa's like, oh my God, you're already 25 minutes into this. I got too much of an incline going here. It's okay, Melissa, I'm going to get there. Okay, so a lot of you are concerned, remember, yes it is, Joanne, and we're rolling with it. It's that time of the month to think about sales tax, and I've had several of you reach out to me on that, okay? So sales tax, for many of us, is due at this time of the month, depending on your state, the 20th to the 23rd usually. And so many states have given extensions on either filing or paying. Again, it doesn't fall into one of my 4 things that I remind you to make sure that you're paying, so hanging on to cash is still king. All these things that are going to be bringing you money, and they will, okay, until there's money in your account, don't spend it. So, again, if it's not putting food on your table, paying for your people, paying your consignors within your agreement, or paying your insurance, one of those key 4 tenets of staying in the resale business, okay, put a pause on it. It's okay to hang on to cash in the short run. The real key is the real key with all this is to file your sales tax. Just hang on to the money and don't pay it. So file it so that, and most states are waiving penalties, but even if you ended out with an interest payment for not paying, for hanging on to cash for a little bit longer, most states are going to be able to argue that away, and it's not going to be a big deal. I'd rather see you hang on to cash in the short run again and get us through to the other side. So that's a big thing. Another big topic for all of you. I've lost count. I've lost fingers to count. You guys have been reaching out, so what's up with conference? Okay, and I'm here to tell you what's up with conference. NARTS, when we book a conference, the association makes a huge commitment to the hotel. NARTS has to get all that space in the hotel for all the meetings and to get the rates that we get for hotel rooms and stuff that Adele is able to negotiate for us. That is correct, Julie. Be careful with that money. But I want people to just be okay with cash. I don't want people to give up food to pay the sales tax right now. But the tax man will cometh, so don't forget that. That's the one department of government that runs on time of any department. My father always taught me that in business. So with conference, NARTS, Adele negotiates some phenomenal rates to keep conference costs low. For all of us. And NARTS, as an association, guarantees room nights and all those meeting spaces. So, NARTS as an association, I mean, obviously, I've had so many people that are like, you have to have conference. You can't cancel conference. And NARTS wants to have it. The issue will be, really, honestly, of whether in North Carolina, the hotel will be allowed to have a meeting at the time of conference of more than 25 people, and whether people will be able to travel. If restrictions are able to be lifted, we are having conference. Okay, conference will move ahead and do that. Because we have had so many people so excited and need the energy from it and need that recharge and need their peers. If we are able to safely have it, and there's been all sorts of contingency plans with the hotel on things that they might have to do, like we might do more plated meals instead of buffets, or different things from a safety perspective, depending on conditions. But if there's a way to have conference, and they can successfully have a meeting of our size, we will move forward with that. And we're very excited about that, because so many of you have been reaching out to me, to Adele, to other board members, and saying, do not let us cancel it. So, if we can do it, we will absolutely move forward with it. If conference is canceled, anybody that's paid will either carry your registration fees over to when it is rescheduled for, or refund it. That is not, NARTS is not going to keep your money if conference is, canceled. But we're the association's a not-for-profit association. You have an all-volunteer board, and we're excited to put on the best conference we can, should we be allowed to. The date of conference, I don't have it right in front of me, and I can't look at my calendar. It is the last full weekend in June, whatever that is, Diane. So whatever the last full weekend in June, I want to say it starts on the 24th or something, the Thursday night. Before that weekend is what rings a bell. It's really going to depend, Russ, on government, but you know my number. So, but it's really going to depend on what we're allowed to do down there and how conditions are. But there has been such a rush of people. I honestly, if you had asked me a few weeks ago, oh Canada, I can't do the whole song, but I'm sure you can carry me, Sarah. If you had asked me when this was all breaking out and the world was shutting down, if we'd have it, okay, I would have said, I can't imagine that anybody would come, okay? But I have been amazed at the outpouring of support to have it, okay? It has truly amazed me, and we have the association's only had one person cancel since all this has been happening, and they were with a non-for-profit that wasn't allowing anybody to travel till, I think, August. So, I am excited to be able to be a part of that if we're allowed to have it. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we really do, Nancy. People really need that. So I am completely with that and all about that. So one of the things that I've wanted to add to our program here every night, or at least a couple of times. Yes, we do, Jana. Hey, Suzanne, that's okay. I got my wine here with you and MJ. Yes, the app is already in process. That's all set. Don't give up, Sarah. Don't give up. You gotta have hope. This is all coming together, and I've got lots of information on that tonight. Melissa's saying keep on going. She can walk forever or something like that. But we'll see. It looks like, in each area that there's going to be lessening of restrictions. Some of the information I'm getting out of Massachusetts. I have several states' information, but I'm trying to stay remotely on topic tonight. But I have information from different states tonight, and I'm on now on national committee for the National Retail Federation because they heard I had some free time on the path to opening again. Okay, so one of the things that I want to cover, okay, as we work on our businesses and we work on things, is using tools, okay? There's been this big rush to online, but so many people are doing it in a disjointed way, okay? When you have a tool, you buy it once, and it pays for itself over and over again. Every time you need to put a nail in the wall, you don't buy another hammer. You don't get another tape measure every time you have to measure something. Well, okay, maybe you do because you put it in this drawer and it's like the readers that you leave stashed all over your house because you forget where you left your reader glasses. So one of the things I've been encouraging you all to do, okay, is reach out to the affiliate members of NARTS. And I've just been grabbing names off out of my hat instead of doing it in an organized way. And I wanted to talk about them all briefly in an organized category. So tonight I'm going to talk about software for a second, because software is your greatest tool. If you're going to grow your online business, if you're going to maintain your online business after you get after you're back open, okay, if you're going to continue to grow it as an additional channel of your business, because it can really supplement, okay, how it's helping you in this time, okay, can only grow exponentially when you're open. So it is an exciting thing. So the best place to reach out is to the various software vendors that serve this industry, okay, because they can help you, okay? It's not a cost. Don't think because you dial the phone it's going to instantly cost you so much money. They have so many promotions. They're giving deals on integration. They're giving payment plans. They're doing all sorts of things to make sure that we all arrive on the other side. So don't hesitate to contact them. They want nothing more than for you to contact them, for you to reach out to them. So the vendors that are NARTS affiliates members in the software category are ConsignCloud, Consigner Connect, ConsignPro, Resale World, Home of Liberty software, Ricochet Consignment Software, SBS Solutions, The Computer Peeps, Thrift Cart, and Traxia. Those are all affiliate members of NARTS, okay? They want nothing more than your success, and there is complete information on them in the supplier guide on the NARTS website. So go check them out, contact them. If you don't have software now, that's the place to go. Software is like a pair of pants. Not every pair of pants fits everybody the same. Talk to them. They are there to support you in any way and help you with your goals. And if they can't help you with your individual goal, they will tell you where you can get help. That's what makes them great. So, I wanted to share one quote that keeps on getting picked up over and over again by the press. So I've been interviewed a lot lately. And one of the things that they like, okay, because, and it's whether they're talking about funding, getting to businesses reopening, everything. I just wanted to share this quote. Businesses have done their civic duty and closed to protect our employees and customers. Now we're asking the government to protect us so we can continue to take care of our employees, communities, and customers. Okay. Oh, Suzanne. But that quote about how we've done our duty, okay, how we did the right thing, how we closed, okay, for our communities, for our people, okay, has been huge. So if you're interviewed, if you're talking to people, that seems to be a point that resonates. If you're talking to your elected officials, that point, whining that you haven't gotten something is important, but actually telling them what you've done. Okay, we did this to protect people. We've done our part. It has resonated in a big way, and it's gotten re-picked up a lot. So I wanted to share that out. The NRF and other organizations are working hard as these reopening plans come together, okay, to talk about getting rid of the county regulations, because I know some of our states have town and county regulations that are more or less restrictive than the state regulations. So that there needs to be a consistent, it's one thing that we don't have a national guideline on who can be open and who can't. There's a lot of regionality to that. But within a state, there needs to be one set of rules. And so there's a lot of people working on that to get that going. As things are coming about, there are some states that are starting to get some plans together. And again, curbside pickup as an initial way of doing things, so retailers can generate some cash flow is a big thing. How the testing is going to work and who's responsible for it is going to be another issue. There's talk of, having, if you're in more of a mall setting or a strip setting, having mall owners be responsible for testing and things so that a person can go into all the businesses in a strip center once, in their visit, not have to get tested each time at each place to have their temperature taken at each place. But one of the state rules that is disturbing, that is looking at and just shows that you have to keep an eye on what's happening is, hey, Ellen, welcome. So glad to have you here. And great to have you here as well. And Amanda, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you are all doing well. I don't know, Ellen, if you're ever going to be able to go back to Maryland just because you've been doing so well at the beach and showing everything at the beach. I don't know that that going back to Maryland is in your cards. But one of the things that they've snuck in to the draft reopening of Pennsylvania is raising the minimum wage, okay, as part of the reopening and as part of the recovery measures, raising the minimum wage, okay, to $12 and then to $15, okay, as part of the reopening. And that's been snuck in there. I don't know if they really have the ability to do that, or they can only do that as a temporary thing as part of the law, but it's very concerning that that's snuck into there. That's the only state that I've seen that in so far. But I just wanted to throw that out there because I know we have a bunch of Pennsylvania members, and I want people to be aware of things like that could potentially get snuck into these rules. Okay, so let's talk about the PPP. Okay, one of the PPP will get refunded, okay? It's just a matter of when. There is agreement. It's likely going to go to the Senate. There was a lot of backlash. It was supposed to go to the Senate today, and there was a lot of backlash over the Shake Shacks and the Potbelly sub shops. Shake Shack, Potbelly, Ruth Chris, all of that really put a lot of pressure on people that they couldn't vote on it today in the Senate to add more money to it. It became, what other protections are they going to add to it? What are they going to do? Some of the rules that look like they're trying to involve more community banks, which is hard because the community banks don't all have the resources to be able to process these. And they're trying to add, some additional rules of of having to, what was the rule that they're trying to have? Oh, that banks have to process applications in order received, not in any random order that they want. Because the big banks were processing them in the ones that would make them the most money. Okay? Because they can earn, again, up to 5% of the loan amount. Okay? Banks earn up to 5% of every payroll protection loan they write, that it's not even their money. Yes, I expect I expect that it will be signed by the end of the week, because it's got to go through both the Senate, then to the House, and then to the President's desk. But I expect it to be funded by the end of the week. With that, the banks are still taking applications. So if you've already submitted it to your bank, you want to make sure that they are going to still process the application that they have, because some of you have received decline letters from your bank saying it was declined because it ran out of money. But the PPP will get refunded. It will be back up by this week, so by next week people should be able to get money. One of the great ones that's getting involved in it that I think is really great, because they're doing a nice job with it, and I've worked with some people on it today, is Intuit QuickBooks is getting involved in it and offering it. And they are doing it, they have it right within QuickBooks, where you can apply for it, and it's taking your data from QuickBooks. The only problem with this system, so they're doing it all data-driven. They're doing it entirely data-driven by what they're pulling out of QuickBooks. If they can pull it right out of QuickBooks for you and your payroll information and everything and get it from QuickBooks, they are doing it, and it will be completely data-driven, and it's going to be very efficient. And it will be very efficient on the forgiveness as well. The problem is when you have other things that aren't directly necessarily included in your payroll, such as health insurance, that are part of it, or if you had a simple IRA that you contributed to separately, they're not including those amounts if they weren't run through the payroll part. But if it's all run through payroll, whatever's run through payroll through QuickBooks, they are able to grab that right out of your QuickBooks and create the application for you and make it a very easy process. So if you use that and you don't work with a community bank, you work with one of the big guys, I highly recommend that, because they're doing a really nice job with it. Okay, as one of the bigger players in the game, they're doing a very efficient job with it. So if you use QuickBooks and you don't have a community bank that you can use, that is a great alternative. Now, they've added something to the desktop as well. They added an option. It's under banking, then at the bottom, loans and everything. You've already got yours going through Wells Fargo. I think when they reopen it, Alexa, you're going to be fine. Yes, if you're already in the queue with your bank, stay there. Okay, but for people that haven't applied or just feel shut out of everything, the QuickBooks option's a great option. So, but that will open back up this week. So will applications for the EIDL. The EIDL applications will open back up as part of this by the end of the week. And if you have not filed an EIDL application and do not have an EIDL application number, okay, then you should apply for the EIDL. Again, we don't know where the end is. I'm not encouraging debt here. I'm encouraging survival. So I want you to arrive on the other side of this. Now, I would just follow up with your hometown bank, Michelle, and make sure that they have your application ready to process. Even people today were hearing from their banks that had already gotten their approvals, but they've been so swamped, okay, that they haven't gotten back to everybody. That they haven't gotten back to everybody yet, and told them they approved. So I had many people getting approvals today that thought they were denied because they didn't have any money. It's just the banks haven't had time to call everybody. There was one community bank that was interviewed today that I caught the interview of, and they're like, if we do 300 applications in a year, okay, loan applications, That's a lot. You know, we did 300 applications in a week. We didn't get back to everybody on time, but we got 300 approved, and we have another 300 in queue. And everybody's on top of it. You know, my bank had all these people on top of it and doing it. But have all your paperwork ready if you haven't applied yet. Get all your paperwork together and get it in. The checklist is in the narts.org/resalestrong. Having that, everybody that's followed that checklist, their bank's been like, oh yeah, boom, you've made my life easy. Whenever there's a back and forth, there's a time delay. So whenever you have to go back and forth with people and get them extra stuff, that slows the process down. The quicker they can get to a checkbox and check you off and submit you, the quicker it is. And once they get you an SBA into the SBA system, so there is an account number with the SBA assigned to you, you're all set. Sarah, email me. Yes, Amanda, I'm quite optimistic that the second round will fund a lot of companies in here. I mean, a lot of people have gotten funding, but even more. And this will really benefit you because you'll be closer to opening. I mean, the hoops you have to jump through to hit this, if you got funded last week or on the first days of this, it is overwhelming because you still have to hit. You have to spend 75% of the money in the 8 weeks after distribution. So 75% in the 8 weeks after distribution, and you have to bring back 75% of your full-time equivalents. The smaller number of full-time equivalents, the better. I think there is going to be a rule change that just says that by the end of the 8 weeks, the last payroll of the 8 weeks, you will have had to restore your 75%. And that will help some of you. It doesn't help you if you have to hit 12 full-time equivalents, but it helps you if you have to hit 5, okay? Spending that money on 3 people and bringing back the final 2 the last 2 weeks or something, depending on how business is, it is doable. But again, I'm willing to work anybody's math and help them with that. Somebody I saw put their application number in here. If you email me your application number, I add it to my spreadsheet and I can give you a better idea of where you are on the EIDL application. EIDL applications are being processed. They are being funded. I had people funded all weekend. I had people approved and funded today. That process, even though the new applications are being shut down, that process is working. The key, you can have both an EIDL and a PPP. You just can't use them for the same purpose, okay? So you can't have an EIDL and use it for payroll and say you're using the PPP for payroll, at least during the same period. The other part that is getting confusing is some people got the advances and then got the PPP and it wasn't reduced from their PPP like it was supposed to. That's going to be dealt with. Just know that you may have a overlap that has to be dealt with somewhere along the line, that you may have to give that extra money back in some form, some way. So if you got an EIDL and a PPP, if you got an EIDL advance, so if you, let's say you got, just for simple math purposes, you got a $30,000 PPP and you got a $10,000 EIDL advance. Well, you were supposed to get only 20 for them, the PPP, if you got the EIDL advance. That's not what's been happening. People have been getting the 30 and they got the 10. It's just everything's happening so fast. So there a whole bunch of times that's happened. Just know somewhere along the line you're going to have to give that 10 back in some form or fashion, the exact parameters of which haven't been established yet. Yes, it is full-time equivalency. What about paying down a higher interest debt? You're allowed to pay other debt payments with the EIDL. And you're allowed to pay interest payments with the extra money of the PPP. But the cleanest PPP money, the more you use it for payroll, insurance, and retirement contributions, the easier it goes. Yes, the EIDL is a great tool, but remember, keep that off to the side. It's designed for operating expenses, so I don't want people getting the EIDL and going off and paying off a bunch of debt and having no working capital. You got to keep in mind the other lines of credit you may have are all shutting off. They're shutting off people. They're turning down credit. They're lowering credit lines. They're turning people off because of what's happening in the economy right now. So even though it's higher interest and everything else, just make your regular payments for a couple of months until things return to normal. Okay? Use that operating capital to make sure you're still operating. And I don't want you to get into a crunch, but I also don't want you to get into long-term debt either. So we want to adjust that and look at that by a case-by-case basis. Again, those of you that have listed loan numbers here, this is a lousy place for me to see them, but if you email me them, I'm happy to look at them. Yes, Sarah, you can. But just don't go rushing and paying off everything on day one when you get the EIDL money. Okay, I'm just making sure I've got some of these questions. I try to make sure I get everything here. And in the next week, I expect next Monday at this time to actually have the actual forms and information that the SBA is going to require of banks on the forgiveness side. Some banks have started to write their own on that, and I have some of those, but I think the actual SBA regs will be out next week, and we'll be talking about that probably next Monday, if not a little before. They're supposed to be out by next Sunday, I think, is the date. So I think we'll be waking up Monday morning to a lot of that information. Amanda, my email is Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. That's Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. My secretary, Michelle, posted it here in the show notes. Thank you, Michelle, for being my... Yes, the Save Small Business Grant, everybody's having problems with the website. Nobody had any luck with it that I know of. I'm hopeful they work through those problems and get that going. I don't have a source right now for thermometers. I got but I am hopeful that is going to be a requirement with availability. So the government knows that is an issue, and they can't require businesses to police that if they don't provide that and provide it affordably. So having the requirement for PPE, but no way to get PPE stuff or testing is a real problem. Dana got through on the Save Small Business Grant. 5 hours, what they say is 15 minutes. That's correct. And the Facebook grants are also this week. So by the 22nd, which is the day before Rebecca's birthday, for those of you that are trying to remember that, is there. The application is closed for the EIDL small business loan right now. It will reopen later this week. Same as when the PPP reopens, the EIDL will reopen. But if your application is already in for the EIDL, it is still being processed and still being funded. I am seeing them get funded day after day since they closed them down, since they closed down the applications. The news media is not reporting that. It's much easier to report the negative news than it is to report anything good that's happening. And so but that is out there, okay? And that is happening. So it should be open later this week. What do I think your stores will look like? I think, Jennifer, your stores will look fabulous. There's a lot of questions of what stores will look like in the future. I don't think they will look like healthcare prisons or a hospital. But yes, they're going to require some spacing and stuff, especially initially when we first reopen. You're going to have to calm your customer fears. And we're going to talk a lot about those plans for reopening this week. We can get over the money side of things, because money is the first panic with everything, but feeling safe. And a lot of people have already talked about, even when they're allowed to reopen, waiting a week or so to see what happens in their area to make sure that they're not part of a spike. And I think there's some good advice with that depending on your area. You have to ultimately do what's right for your area. These are very different conditions in different parts of the country. And for you and your staff, okay, and your customers. It will be different in different parts of the country. It will be completely different. That is true. Local microbreweries are making hand sanitizer for a great price, so buy local. That is very true. And I try to buy local wherever I can. So, there's a lot going on with that, and it will be developing. The National Retail Federation is working on a map that I hope to have later this week of the country and what's happening and what level of opening they're at and precautions are needed. So there's a lot with that, and so I will have more information on that and more guidance as we move through the week, and we'll be able to share that with you. I have the red, yellow, green is the color-coded chart is how that's going to work, and I have some stuff on that to help us through this of how they're going to be coding it for stores and shops. But I am encouraged about some of the curbside pickup that'll be happening and the understanding of what small business is going through, okay, and how we've carried the load for the country, okay, in helping protect and slow the spread. Because let us not forget, this is real. I know there's lots of fake reports of how this was a manufactured news story or took away our civil liberties. There are people dying. Your friends, your neighbors, your friends of friends of friends. So somebody within 6 degrees of you, okay, 6 separations from you, okay, that has been affected greatly by this disease. So do not forget that this is real and has affected real people, as real as it has affected your livelihoods, and it has affected everyone's livelihoods. I have helped and worked with people across so many industries, okay. I've honestly lost track. I mean, Cassandra's like, who are you just on the phone with today? And I'm like, oh, the window cleaning companies. And she's like, of course, that's who you were talking to. And I'm like, well, we're all in this together. They're going through this. And they actually hit it earlier because as businesses were seeing the slowdown, they stopped the non-essential window cleaning of their businesses, okay, which is an important service, but they stopped that. So those businesses got hit harder even sooner, okay? And so, we're all in this. Every industry, there's nobody that has been unaffected by this in some form or fashion. So there's a lot to it, and we're going to get to the other side of it. Yeah, there's going to be some government supplies available, Alexa. I'm quite confident of it, or they're going to provide suppliers that have it that we're going to be able to buy from. Maybe, Molly. We'll talk later this week. You're 6 to 3. We're going to talk later this week. The most important thing to stay focused on right now, for those of you that have the PPP, is make sure you are trending at 75% of the money spent on payroll. And I think from the indications I'm getting, I don't have final official. It looks like they're going to change the requirements so that you have to be at 75% of your FTEs by the last payroll period, so that on the report that they have to verify it has at least 75% and at least 75% spent on payroll for people with salaries under $100,000 or $1,900 a week. So that's the way it looks like it's trending, and I am looking forward to having official paperwork on that. Keep in mind, all of this is getting revised on the fly while we already have this money. And that is a key thing. In the loan documents, there is a paragraph that says they can amend this loan, okay, when you sign those electronic loan disclosures that you're not reading, okay? I think there's 2 of us that have read every word of them, okay? 2 of them, and I'm one of them, okay, out of this entire group that has read every word, okay? There is a paragraph that says, should the SBA change anything, we can amend this loan to automatically affect it. Yes, Ellen, you can give yourself a raise. You can give Mike a raise, okay? You can give lots of people a raise to hit those targets. And I will, I'm happy to work all those numbers with any of you individually. Hitting some of these targets becomes a very individual thing. So reach out to me. Easiest guy in the world to reach. I do have lots of calls to make, but I call everybody back. Average call is somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour. So there's only so many of those in the day, but I take every call and I return everybody's call, even though I think on some right now I'm at about a week back. But I don't care what industry you're in, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, resale store, I'm helping everybody because it's so important that we get all of our communities back on the other side of this. And actually so many calls that I'm on, they're like, hang on a second, I've got this friend in this other business. That's a concierge hotelier or whatever that I need that has questions about it for their situation. And I take them all, okay? That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. And it's truly an honor to serve you and be able to provide that level of information. Yes, it is getting time for dinner. So we better take a look at our good morning, good night book tonight. So again, to reach out to me, it is Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. Do not forget to include your phone number and time zone, if applicable, in that so you don't get a 6 a.m. call from me. I am there for you. But let's go to our good morning, good night book. For those of you that were not here at the top of the show when I read our good morning today. Oops, no glasses here, can't read that. Our good morning. Look at you! The miracle of you, the thrill of you, becoming who you'll be. Spits, wipes your cheek. Just a little schmutz. Got it. Okay, stunner, go. They ain't ready for you. Okay, our good night tonight. Good morning, good night book. Good night. Look at you, the miracle of you, the thrill of you. Becoming who you'll be. Tousles your hair. Okay, see, I can tousle my hair. Okay, stunner, rest up. You have some of that perfect for tomorrow. Well, rest really isn't in my schedule, but hey, that's not what I do. I am here for you every night, live, in the Narts private Facebook group at 8 p.m. Eastern every night, live. You can ask your questions. You can email them to me. I respond to everything. That is Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. I return everything, and it's so much better to email me than Facebook me because I can keep them queued, stacked, printed, and I get back to everybody. So we are all here tomorrow night. Don't forget, you, and especially you are not alone running this store. Melissa, time to get off the treadmill. It's dinner time. I'll see you all tomorrow night.